is Troy Bradshaw, but you could call me the Juice. Look, I had some information that I wanted to share with you guys tonight. A lot of people have been blowing me up email-wise. I did let everyone know, hey, if you have any information, reach out, let me know. Keep it coming, guys. Keep it coming. Let's get the chains moving, because I think what it's going to take to crack this case is going to be the people, somebody coming forward, or just us combined as a whole, gathering all the information that we have. Any little thing, even if it's us discovering something else in this video, could potentially crack this case. So I wanted to share something with you guys tonight that might just turn out to be true. I watched a video, somebody reached out by the name of Angie. And I know there's been several other people. I think somebody else was also trying to bring this to my attention. So I'm like, you know what? Let's share this on stream. I know I was just out at Nancy's today, and we were looking at the perp in the video, and we saw the perp in the video of the perp. There's somebody. It looks like it appears to be somebody walking by. And you can see possibly a shoe walking by out of Nancy's front door, it looks like. So I want to take a look at that. I want to take a look at something else that somebody brought to my attention in the video. Also, I want to talk a little bit about the documentary that took place and kind of just react to some of the things that were said in that video. Big welcomes, those of you guys tuning in. Good to see you. If you're in chat so far, I'm not sure. I haven't looked to see if I'm even actually live. I just kind of hit that button and started talking. So, but I can't wait to show y'all some of this, because I think this is going to be pretty informational for some of y'all that are tuned in. I want to make sure I got my stuff pulled up here. I'll probably end up turning off the chat because it's probably going to pop up once I do this. But let me wait a second here, see if we're actually, let me just check to see if we're actually really live here. What time is it right now? It's 1 a.m. in the morning for me right now. And as you all know, I'm a local here in Tucson, Arizona. 64 degrees right now, so it's a little chilly outside. It's a little chilly outside. I want to see if we're good and we're rolling good, just to make sure we got a solid connection and we're not lagging in and out here. It's been a while since I've been live at home, so forgive me if I'm a little rusty and I make a few mistakes here and there. It's been a minute. We've been at Nancy's a lot lately. RS, what up? RS, big welcomes, by the way. So 4 a.m. RS, wow. So I don't know if you I don't know if y'all want me to give y'all a little bit more time. Let me try to give some people a little bit more time to chime in. It's pretty late, so I don't think we'll have a whole lot of people here at this time of the night. But if you're up, good morning, or good night if you're going to sleep, because I know a lot of people are off to bed around this time. It's a lot of, I feel like we've got a lot of older folks as an audience rather than young. So. I think a lot of older folks end up going to bed early. But all right, let me show y'all this. I want to show y'all this picture that someone sent to me, and I also want to play the video of the perp so you guys can see what I'm talking about here. Quick question: has anybody seen a car in the background of the perp? Has anybody yet to confirm? There's an actual car in the video of the perp. I just want to know, because a lot of people have been wondering if there's a car, and we've had this theory in our head that we think that there's a car, but really it turns out to be the sign in the back. So I just kind of want to know what people think as far as that car in the background. Diane, big welcomes. How you doing tonight? Is it Angeline? How you doing, Angeline, tonight? Um, RS, what's up, brother? Angeline says, so glad you're on. Yeah, me too. I mean, I'm glad I have something I could share with you guys tonight too. Are we? Are we? Big welcomes those of you guys tuning in. We're good. Okay, I think we're good. Just wanted to make sure we were smooth here. Man, I haven't streamed at home in so long. I'm super rusty. My goodness. Hmm. Yeah, I'm super rusty right now. All right. Let me show y'all this real quick. No one said anything, so I'm just gonna move forward. No one said anything at all. I was trying to see if anybody's seen a car in the background, or we've actually confirmed there's an actual car in the background. But I'm just gonna show you guys this see what y'all think. Shout out, is it I believe it was Angie. I think her name was Angie. Who sent the photo. Let me find the picture. So I thought I had it ready, but I guess not. I think her name was Angie. I'm trying to remember her name too, or trying to see if there's something where she says her name. I think she told me her name. She had a lot of good information though that she brought to my attention. That's for sure. All right, so I'm gonna pull this picture up real quick here, and where she circled it and where she says car. I want to know if y'all see that, what I'm seeing, where it's circled at, and I'll probably zoom in so y'all can see it a little bit better. She sent me this, and I was like, oh my God. And I'm like, you know what? Maybe that is a car. Maybe that is a car in the background. I think that's a car in the back. I truly do. I don't know why I keep clicking the wrong thing, but I think that definitely looks like a car to me in the back. Diane says my brain refuses to shut down tonight. Man, mine too. I'm always up late. I'm a night owl. As Sloop's intuition says, nocturnal. Is Criminal Network still alive? I don't think he's still alive. Who was it? Adrian. I think Adrian was the one who brought it to our attention about the shoe. Somebody walking by with a shoe. So I want to play that clip too, so you guys can see that part. Because the screen was so glary, I don't think anybody was able to get a real eye on it. So I want to see if I could pull that up too. I don't know if we got a chat. I've never actually tuned in on X while I've been live, but I know I'm live on X too. I don't know if anybody could actually say anything on X in the chat or whatever. I've never actually clicked on anything. But I'll keep an eye on that as we're live here as well. I might need to switch the screen here because this is bothering. Are we still good? I feel like we're not. I feel like we just don't have a good connection tonight. And I keep clicking on the wrong thing, so I might need to switch my screen around. Hey, Concern, big welcomes, by the way. Says Juice Box is in the chat, man. Much love. Good evening. Yeah, I don't have to go to sleep, y'all. Let's find Nancy. Cali girl. Much love, Cali girl. Hey, Carla, big welcomes, by the way. Are we even still smooth? What is going on? I'm turning this off. Hold on. Let me pull up the chat on my phone here. Or I'm sorry, the stream. I don't know why it seems like we got a bad connection or something.
Man and Queen.
Oh God, no wonder. Hold on, folks. Hey, Venus, big welcome. What do we have here? I think we have ourselves a car, guys. I think that is actually a car in the back. I think that's actually a car. I'm going to zoom in so you guys can see it a little bit better. So I just think that that's actually a car. And then we're going to play the video here. We'll play the video so y'all can see. But I think I see a car. I don't know if that to me, that looks like it could be a Dodge Charger. But now that I'm seeing it a little bit closer, it almost looks like it might just be something else. But somebody sent me this picture, and I think her name was Angie, I believe. And I was checking that out on the email that she had sent me. And I think that is a car, my friends. That looks like a car in the driveway. She claims that she sees a person. There is missing rocks that she's pointing out as well in a particular area. Let me zoom out again. Oh, no, we're good. I like that right there. But there is some rocks there that look like they appear to be missing. I don't know about that part. And then she points out the fact that this person may have a smaller belly compared to the guy that we see on January 11th. But I'm going to play the video right now in real time, and you tell me if you see a car in that driveway. And I don't know if you guys can see that clearly on stream. Let me look to see what it looks like on the phone. So I could see exactly how you guys see it, or for those maybe watching on the TV, because it's much clearer on the computer than it is on phone. And it would probably be a lot easier for you to see exactly what I'm seeing. I just want to see if it appears to be dark on stream. No, it looks exactly like what I'm looking at on the phone. I don't know if you guys can see this, but I'm going to I'll make it a little easier. Hard to tell. No, I think I'm for certain that is a vehicle. I'm gonna put the arrows around it so you guys can see exactly what I'm talking about. We probably need to find something so we can invert this, so we can see this a little bit better. Imagination running wild. I see nothing but a blur. Nah, that's a car. That is literally a car. There's no way that's not a car. You see where my mouse is circling? Look again. Right where my mouse is circling, that's a car. There's two headlights on both sides. Right where my mouse is going back and forth. Light, 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 light. This is what a figure of a car looks like, and I can see the car. I can see the actual car. I mean, literally, unless my mind is playing tricks on me, I literally can see a vehicle in that driveway. No doubt in my mind. Let's play the video real quick. Maybe my mind is playing tricks on me, but to me, that looks like a car. Then when you look at the video, it kind of looks like that's a car. I don't know. That's why I figured I'd come live to ask you guys to see what you guys think. Because that definitely isn't a tree. It's not a tree. And you could see the outline of the car, like just the way a car would look. But let's play the video. Let's play the video real quick. But if my mind's playing tricks on me, maybe it is. But somebody brought that to my attention. I think somebody has before in the past, and I think a lot of us just kind of look past it. Let me see if I can find the video of the perp. Suspect at Nancy's door. Yeah, we'll take this one here. And then I'll try to zoom in on it as much as I can for you guys. It's harder with the shorts. Let me go back to the other screen here. 1 second. Hey, maybe my mind's playing tricks on me. Maybe it is. Maybe it is. And I'm just tripping. Maybe I'm tired and I need to get some rest. I don't know. But to me, that looks exactly like a car to me. But let me get my arrows out so you guys can see exactly where I'm looking at. And then I'll switch the screen. Hold on. I'm going to turn my camera off real quick. It won't go in studio mode. Well, that's not good. That means I can't use my arrow. There we go. Alright, so I'm going to move the arrow for a second. As soon as I see that particular part where I see that car in the background, I'll stop. That way I can keep rewinding it and going back. It's going to be tough because I'm not in control of the rewind button, so I might have to actually keep it zoomed in. Let me see. I'm trying to get the best look I can get for y'all based on what I'm looking at. And at one point in time in the video, the perp looks back exactly where I'm seeing that car at. So I don't know. And I'm not sure if it's a car, guys. I thought after she shared that with me, I'm almost like, is that a car? I don't know if this is the actual video I was looking at earlier, but I think I might need to play a different video that's more clear. This might not be the best footage. Let me play a different one. She did point out that the belly looks a lot bigger. She thinks that this is a different person, and she thinks that it's a girl. I still don't think it's a girl. But I do feel like there could be a chance that that is a car in the background. I'll see. I think it's on that initial approach right here. Let me go back again. Oh, I think I changed the video. So tough to do it like this on a short. But right here on this initial approach, and I'm going to keep rewinding it if I can. Let me see if I can zoom in. All right. Right where my arrow is at, I'm gonna rewind it a little bit, a couple times, just so we can analyze this real quick. I just want to verify with everybody plugged in tonight to see if my eyes are playing tricks on me. Hold on, chat. Concern, thanks for the $10 super chat, by the way. Says, thanks for all your hard work and dedication. Much love, man. Thanks for being here and tuning in with me here. I'm trying to look at chat at the same time, but bear with me because I got to figure out where this arrow is at. All right, there it is. And I'll blow up the arrow a little bit more so it's kind of more precise based on where I'm pointing it at. But on the very tip of the actual arrow is where I want you to, on the tip of the arrow here, that's where I want you to be looking at. I want to make sure the camera's, the screen, I have the screen in the right place, but I think I do. And here is that moment that he looks back directly in the direction that I think I see a vehicle there, but I don't know if it's for sure a car. It just looks like the outline of a vehicle to me. I don't know why. Maybe invert that, but I think somebody would have caught that already. So right here on this tip, you want to see the shoe. Yeah, we're going to look at that shoe right now. Why does that look like a vehicle to me? Maybe it just looks like that when it's paused. In reality, it's not. I just want to check this out again. I don't know why it looks like it's... Oh, it's so dark on stream. My God. That really is a bummer. It actually is too dark on stream, and I don't know what I just did with my screen right now. I cannot see anything. What just happened? Oh, God. I don't know what I just did with my screen, guys. I really don't. Anyways, guys, I think my mind, it might just be playing tricks on me. The picture that she showed me, when this is a lot better picture than what I see in the video, because the video is so dark on stream, so I guess I can't even really show you guys exactly what I'm seeing. But that's what she sent me, and maybe because it's paused, it looks like a car. She claims to see a person. It almost looks like somebody could be possibly standing right there, but it could also be the tree. It's just very hard to tell. But to me, I see a very fine outline of a vehicle. It doesn't look like it could be plants. It is the driveway that goes in that direction right there, from where he's standing at. Where my arrow is at is where the driveway is. It's going in the driveway, and right around this area here, it just looks like a vehicle to me. But it's very possible that it is not, and it's just the outline of the way everything looks that makes it look like a vehicle. But in this area, it's very dark in this area, and then kind of surrounding it, it's lighter, surrounding that particular area, which is hard to show you guys. But in that general area right there, it is dark, and then outside of that, it is light. which could very much be flowers, but there's no flowers and plants in the driveway at all. It's an actual driveway of gravel, but I guess I'll have to just try to find a better way to make something of this to see whether or not it's actually a vehicle. Let's go ahead and look at that video that Adrian showed us just earlier, so we could see if we see that shoe passing by in that video at one point in time. So give me a moment. Let me zoom out. I'll zoom out all this, and we'll check that out. I don't know why my screen is so zoomed in, guys. This is ridiculous. I literally have messed everything out. Remember when it was pointed out someone sitting on the left in this porch guy video? I saw it. Rose says it wasn't a shoe. I watched it several times. Let's check it out. I mean, it's much clearer here on stream. I want to see if we can see that in this particular video that I'm watching right here, just to see. Let's check that out real quick. Let me switch the screen around, folks. 1 second, though. That's interesting, folks. I don't know. I got it tomorrow, or when I go back on Thursday or on Friday, maybe. I don't know if I'm going back tomorrow, but I will probably go by there, because I always kind of go by there. I probably will start going by on the off days when I don't stream, and at least kind of report. But I think tomorrow I need to go by to look to see if there's an actual plant in that area right here, where I believe I see a vehicle. So right where my mouse is at, I want to go by there tomorrow and see if there's an actual plant that's in this very line of sight here, where my arrow is at. And you kind of don't know what I'm talking about, because it appears really dark on stream. It's not light at all, and I need something that I can put on an editor thing. To kind of invert it and play with this a little bit. I haven't even got to do that at all, but it would just be nice to invert everything, or just change up the contrast or the lighting on the actual picture, just to see if anything changes, just to verify what that exactly is. Interesting. Juice, next time you go to Nancy's, walk up the hill to the house on the hill. Hold on. Mama says, Juice, next time you go to Nancy's, walk up the hill to the house on the hill and see if the red wheelbarrow is still there across the street by the trees. It's a red wheelbarrow. We went up there today. We've went up there several times. The red wheelbarrow is still there. So that has not left yet, as far as I know. Thanks for bringing that up, though. You never know. You never know. Somebody I spoke to at one point in time just recently said, you know, Juice, I really don't think that they checked those septic tanks as good as they could. And I was like, you know, you could have a point there. But at the same time, after doing some research, it says the septic tanks go typically about 2 to 3 feet. So if that's the case, then they wouldn't. It doesn't sound like they would be too hard to check. So I don't know. I know nothing about septic tanks, and I don't know how many surround Nancy's house around that neighborhood. But I don't think she's nowhere near her house, to be honest. And that's just my opinion. Crazy, 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 man. Thanks for sharing that with me, Angie. A lot of good information out there that we definitely could learn that we haven't learned So people got to start sharing their information. You never know what we might come up with. So if you got any information, feel free to email me. It's in the description, and if it's something that we need to all see, I'll be glad to share. So feel free. Don't be afraid. And if you want to remain anonymous, you can do that as well. I'm trying to find the video that we were going to look at today that Adrian was saying that she thinks might be a shoe that passes by at one point in time in the video. It appears that passes by at one point in time somebody walking in the video. It appears that passes by at one point in time somebody walking in the video. It appears that passes by at one point in time somebody walking. I don't know what I in the video. It appears that passes by at one point in time somebody walking. I don't know what I in the video. It appears passes by at one point in time somebody walking. I don't know what I in the video. It passes by at one point in time somebody walking. I don't know what I in the video. It passes by at one point in time. I don't know what I in the video. Passes by at one point in time. I don't know what's playing. It passes by at one point in time. I don't know what's playing. We'll just turn that off. I don't know. I'll just restart the entire browser. I don't even know what I pressed. Told y'all I was rusty. It's been a while. It's been a while since I streamed at home. I think it just logged me out of everything too. What in the what? How does it do that? Sheesh. That was super annoying. Sorry if you guys had to hear that 1,000 times. Where is it at? Where is it? It's taking too much time. I had it saved. I'm not logging to X, so I need it to take me right to the video. Gosh, I wish I was logged into X. This would be so much easier because I had retweeted it or re-X'd it, however you want to put it in words. And it's for whatever reason I all of a sudden don't see it. Maybe somebody can send me the link. Oh my goodness, folks. This is killing me. I just had it pulled up too. Can't find it. And I can't remember her name either. How is it not showing up anymore? Let me see if I can just pull up my ex so we can look at this video. I should have been logged in already. I guess I'm not logged in on the right device. Or, I'm sorry, the right web browser. Thought I was logged in. Alright, here we go. I think this is it here. Why are we loading so slow? What is going on? Nothing's working. I'm on my X. I'm trying to get this up. Bear with me, guys. I don't know what's happening. I knew the signal was bad tonight. I just had a feeling. We're on X, trying to load up the post so we could watch this video, but it's not loading. This is crazy. Vidoka? Thanks for reminding them to hit that like button. I appreciate that. Says show juice your appreciation. Much love. Gabrielle Banks saying hit that like button. My girlfriend. Yes. Indeed. She said she wants to remain anonymous, but it's too late. She thinks the perp's going to come after her. Oh boy. Oh boy. Trying to get it together, but nothing's loading. So it just loaded up a second ago, but now it's not. Here it is. It's not. Everything's just loading slow. I don't know what's going on. It's like everything's broke all of a sudden now that I want to go live. It's loading, so it just loaded up a second. Nothing's working. Chat's broken. Everything's frozen. Nothing's working, chat. I don't know. I don't know what to do. There's nothing for me. There's nothing I can do. Let's see. All right, here it is. My goodness. 10 hours later. I don't even know if chat's working again. All right, I'm gonna zoom in. We're gonna zoom in on this. We'll blow it up a little bit more. Have a call-in show, always fun. I don't have a way to call y'all. If I had WhatsApp, I would, but I don't want to give everybody my personal number. So I'll put the arrow up and I'll stop it. But it would be great for us to do call-ins, by the way. But yeah, I need to set that up. I really do. So I'm gonna put I'll put it up here. When I feel like the shoe is passing by, I'll put the arrow up so you guys can check that out. And I'll point it out so you guys can see it in real time too. We're actually seeing the movement. I'll point it out right here. But I just really hope this is bright enough for you guys to see. That's the downfall. I can't really change the brightness. Hold on. I gotta move the screen a bit because it's not where I want it at all. I think I like it about right here. So she's got her arrow there, but I'm gonna put my arrow here too because it's a very small arrow, I think, on stream. Patriot Pride in the building, man. Welcome, Patriot Pride. Good to see you, man. It's just late. I didn't know you were a night owl too. So again, guys, somebody sent me an email, I think she sent me an email, and also I think she posted it on her ex, a girl by the name of Adrian. She says she sees some shoes. So right there, where her arrow is at exactly, you'll see something kind of go by, and she's replaying it during this time in the video. And if I stop it right here, let me go back. You see that right there? See it? All right, we're going to zoom in real quick. Let me pause it right there. Let's pause it right there. Because that's exactly at this very moment right there is where I see a shoe, and it almost looks like it appears like somebody is walking by. Is that the zoomed in? I don't know if I had it zoomed in right there. Nah, here we go. think it being zoomed in, it might be a little bit better. So right where her arrow's at here, pay attention to right there where that arrow is at. I'm going to move mine because I think her arrow's in a really good spot, actually. She was pretty spot on point with it. So let's just move my arrow real quick. And I'll bring it back if need be. I think we need to shrink it a little bit. We might be zoomed in just a little too much, guys. Bear with me here. Let me play it though. Yeah, let's zoom out. Let's zoom out. We're zoomed in a little too much. Let's play it here. You guys see what I'm looking at? Let me bring it down a little bit. Let's go back again. Nah, we might still be zoomed in. Let's come out a little bit more. Hold on. I'm shrinking this. I don't know how to work OBS all that well. I've been doing it for a long time and don't know how to zoom in on OBS. That cannot be strub going in the direction. If you guys are seeing what I'm seeing, that can't be strub going in the opposite direction of where the perp is standing. Right here, right here, right here. I'm clicking it over and over again. Let me see if I can move the camera over a bit so you can see that. I'm sorry, the screen over a bit. Maybe y'all can't see this, what I'm seeing right now. Is that shrub or is that somebody walking? It almost looks like a leg and a foot walking by. It seems to have said something to someone. He seems to have said something to someone. This isn't during that time though. This is the time where he has a shrub and it's over. I mean, it's way too blurry. I mean, it's blurry, period, though. It's not very... I don't know if it's better for you guys to see this version, because it's just not zoomed in enough here for me either. I think... Here, we'll zoom in from here, but not as much as we were zoomed in just a second ago. That looks like a leg to me. God, man, somebody give me something to where we can make this brighter somehow or something. I don't know if I can make this actually brighter. I could probably mess with the filters on OBS, but I don't know if the filters are going to do us any good justice. I'm surprised you guys don't see what appears to be white that appears at one point in time as it's a foot walking by. I'm just shocked y'all don't see that. It looks like a white shoe to me. Or behind the porch. He's walking in the direction away from the porch. That is crazy to me. There's no way that's a shrub falling. So what else would that be that appears to be white walking by? Or, I mean, it looks like somebody's walking by to me. Patriot Pride ate that good old Waffle House, huh? That good old Waffle House. Can't go wrong with no Waffle House, man. Waffle House it's great. I love Waffle House. Chat, I don't know. I'm not sure. I really don't know what that is. I really truly want to say, and I don't want to misinform anybody, but based on my opinion, I truly want to say that there's a very good chance that that's somebody walking by. I'm going to play with the filters. Don't mind me. Let's play with the filters a little bit. I'll let y'all see this. I usually don't. I usually do it on the editing screen and then show you guys. But since I might go quiet for a few moments, shall we play with the filters a little bit? There's only so much I can do on OBS. I'll let it play for y'all while I'm messing with the filter here. And then maybe you can tell me, I can see the chat too, so if you can tell me if it looks more brighter to you guys, let me know. Or if it's just too dark and it's not enough, whatever, just let me know. We're gonna play with the filter a little bit, and we're gonna see if we can define this a little bit more. All right, I'm gonna let it play from where we were at right there. I think I like that so far. What in the what? Maybe that's too blurry. What the? Yeah, I think that is a shoe, my friends. I think that is a person walking by. And I almost want to say that there might be a chance that this person and the other person, if there is two, dressed exactly alike. I don't know if the person we see on January 11th is a different person, but somebody did point out that that person that we see on January 11th may even possibly have a bigger belly than that person. We'll go back to that real quick. I wanted to show you guys something else that was a little bit weird to me too, just real quick. Hold on. I want to show you guys something else that was a little bit weird as well, that someone else shared with me. You remember there was a girl and a guy who came and they took a picture and the girl was dressed up inappropriately. And she was taking like model photo shoots in front of Nancy's house with a bald-headed guy, and I think I saw when you were moving the cursor. We're gonna go back and look at that again. Hopefully I think I might have messed up all of my my settings when it comes to what the screen's supposed to look like naturally. But I think I should be able to go back and get the regular version. I hope. See, now it's all jacked up. Sorry, we'll get it back to normal. I was trying to pull up my email here so you guys can see what I'm talking about, but for whatever reason my computer is just loading really, really slow tonight. I don't know what it is, so y'all gotta bear with me tonight. So look, there was I think this was a lady's hand. She wanted to bring this to my attention. Just wanted to share this with you guys, and thank you, Angie, for sharing this as well. She saw the lady had like a purple hand, like a bruised hand, which was kind of weird. And I'm gonna show you what the two individuals that she was talking about here, that came and took that model looking photo, or looked like she was doing some type of modeling in front of Nancy's around the beginning, just a little bit, like I think it was about a couple weeks after this all took place, if not a little over a week. Can't remember exactly. But it was the two people in the photo, and I cannot find that specific photo she sent me for whatever reason. I don't know why it's not coming up. Strange. All of a sudden. Where's this photo? Okay, I found it, I think. So it was these two people here that came. I can't remember exactly when they came, which was interesting. I don't necessarily think that it was these two individuals that had anything to do with it. But this guy does have a very, very similar build. He is skinny like the perp. He matches the height. It is a little weird that they came out and took photos. Maybe they got a kick out of it, who knows. And I think we at one point in time we looked at this guy, which was kind of weird. It was kind of weird, but just figured I'd like to share that with you guys real quick. I don't know. I don't know what to say about that. I thought it was interesting though, because that guy does have a similar build. She had a bruised hand. I don't know why. Her hand almost even looks swollen. Looking at this picture right here, it looks a little weird. Looks a little off. Which would be her right hand. But maybe they got a kick out of doing whatever they were doing. I'm not sure. But that hand does look a little bit swollen to me on the right side, which she sent me that picture and pointed that out. And I thought that was kind of crazy and kind of creepy. If it was somebody that just came out here to get a kick out of this. And these two were somehow involved, or the guy that she's with was involved. But he's looks like he'd be the perfect height for it. But anyway, I don't want to get too caught up in that. I just figured I'd share that with you guys, see what y'all think about that. Because I think a lot of us forgot about those two individuals that came. So, yeah. But I want to go back to this video here. And I want to look at this a little bit more, because that definitely looks like there's a really good chance that we might have somebody actually walking by on the video. And I wonder if the FBI has really looked into that, and they could be on to something. Let me blow this up. Yeah, I honestly think that is a shoe, my friends. I'm gonna stop it where I feel like I can really see the shoe and the leg, and then I'm gonna go ahead and try to mess with the contrast and stuff a little bit, because there's one point in time in real time where I really feel like I see a leg along with the shoe, not just the shoe. And I think it's at this very, very moment right here is where I feel like I see a leg and a shoe. So I'm going to stop it right there. And then I'm going to change the contrast up a little bit and play with it here, just to see if we can get something better out of this here. This is interesting, folks. This is really, really interesting. I can thank Adrian for sharing this with us, because we're all curious to know whether or not. I think one of the biggest arguments we've had in this case is whether or not it's 1, 2, or 3 people. And even if it's more than 2 and this is actually another person, at least we know at this point that there's more than one, if we can figure out whether or not that this is actually another person or not. But I just truly don't think that something moves on the ground like that. The way you know, somebody would walk, or just like how you would think of what a footstep would look like in your head. I just truly don't think that that's going to be anything just flying by, and it's damn sure not a bug. So please don't say it's a bug, because that's not a bug. A bug does not move like that. God, I wish they had like invert on this thing, because I mean, there's not too much I can do here. And we're not looking where the light is shining at. We're not looking here. We're looking here. I don't know if you can see my arrow, but we're looking here. To me, that looks like a shoe. And I can't see anything beyond that unless it's playing in real time. I don't like this edit that I did here, or this the way the contrast looks. It looks more terrible to me. Juice, read my message. Good night, all. Let's see. What did you say? I think I missed it. Also on the thumbnail, that person's shoes are different and are different. It was black marking on it. You can be on to something, Juice. You know what's crazy is she pointed out the belly, guys. She pointed out the belly, and she says the guy in the video is more skinnier. And it could be a chance that he has on more clothing. And I think I went ahead and saved a picture of the guy that appears in that photo that we've been looking at. And in that very photo, it does appear that he could possibly have a big belly, or a bigger belly than the guy in the surveillance video. But a lot of people would argue that it's the same guy. And then some people, I've even heard some people say that they feel like that there's a gun somewhere on the floor in the picture. Although I don't think so. But there has been people that have mentioned that as well. But the belly does look like it sits a little bit lower while he's standing there like that. But watching the video, it's very hard to tell. But he does look a bit more sluggish to me. This isn't the best photo, but he definitely does look a little bit more like he could possibly have a little bit more weight. But a lot of us would argue that it's the same guy. You do have to keep in mind that this picture is a lot. It's very pixelated. It's not a very good picture. So it's very, very hard to make out a lot of the details that we think we see. Although what we think, a lot of times I think, turns out to be right. So, I mean, if you have that gut feeling that this is probably a different guy, chances are you might just be right. But the belly does look a little bit more like it's dropped down than you see in that video. So it's hard to tell, though, guys. It really is hard to tell. See if I can bring the photo out to maybe put them together somehow when we watch that video. But it's tough to, it's kind of hard for me to put them both together. I would have to literally kind of edit it to actually see that. But he does appear to have somewhat of a belly, guys. I don't know if you guys can really see that, but it does seem like there's a chance this guy might just have a bigger belly in that picture. Is it that just the way the picture is? And then let me pull the arrow out real quick. I want to point something else out too. Maybe that's a tree. No, I think it might be a light that makes it look like there's almost like something hanging from the mask in the back. I think that might be a light there where my arrow is at. Let's see if this guy turns around completely to kind of compare a bit. Nah, I think it cuts there. And this isn't the actual video. This is the video that she put together pointing out the shoe. But it does appear to me like he could be a little bit skinnier. And this guy in the video doesn't have a belly at all. At all. So I don't know if it's just me or the way this picture is that makes this guy look like he's got a belly. And the shoes, we've all argued that the shoes are they just look different. They look different. They don't look the same. I see black on the bottom of these shoes. I see a white shoe with black on the bottom, and then this shoe, it looks like it's all white to me, and it looks like there's a black line that goes through the shoe, which that's what separated for me in this picture, which makes me think sometimes whether or not this is a different guy in this picture than the guy on the surveillance video. But it's hard for us to make that out and tell. It's also a chance to me that mask could also even be different, because to me it looks like, which is tough to tell and call it because the picture's pixelated, but it almost looks like that mask goes down past the neck into the jacket. But he's further away, and if it is the same guy visiting on a different night, there's a chance that he could have wore something a little bit different than the first time. I'm sorry, than the night of the abduction. But I don't know, chat. I don't know. I really can't call it. Go in more on the shoes. Zoom in more on the shoes. On which, for which particular picture? Hold on. These shoes are definitely different. There's no way those shoes can be the same. I don't know why we just don't want to think those shoes are the same. But I feel like people just want to believe that it's the same guy. I think, but it's just a really big possibility that this is not the same guy. Or it's the same guy, just has different shoes on that night. But the shoes don't match to me. And even with a pixelated picture, there's nothing that meets up. I think the pixelated, I feel like even with it being pixelated, to me, if you ask me if it defined whether or not enough that the shoes are different, I would say yes. I just have to put it out there that, people are going to consider that how blurry the picture is and say that because of the way the picture looks and appears, it's not. It is the same shoe. It's just the way the picture is. But I would argue all day long that those shoes are different. And not saying that doesn't mean it's the same. It's not the same guy. But when you look at the belly and then you match it up with the guy in the video, it just seems like it's not the same guy, because this guy seems a bit more sluggish on the left side, and I can't I don't think it's showing up on stream because I have it. I think I took it off a bit. There it is. I think that's a little bit better comparison there. I can actually see the shoe. But you see there's black on the shoe, on the side of the shoe. That shoe doesn't look, why is it white? Oh, it's because it was zoomed out. Okay. I think I zoomed out too much. There we go. Yeah, I would have to say that shoe is different, folks. It's definitely not the same shoe. Looking at the stomach, it's very difficult to say, but I would honestly argue that shoe is definitely a different shoe all day long. And just look at the guy on the left side. He has no belly whatsoever. No belly at all. This guy in the picture has a belly. He has a belly, folks. I don't care how you slice it, that's a belly hanging down. The jacket is more closer to where the crotch ends here than it appears in the video with the guy that we see. And it's obviously tough to analyze because the gun holster is in the way. That separates the actual ending of the pant crouch area to where the jacket meets when the jacket starts. So in between those, the separation is different. But I think a lot of us truly want to just believe that this is the same guy. But I don't think so. I think they're two different guys. And a lot of us think that there's a chance that this person has a leader. But if you see right here on the turn, I get it. He's got his leg up, so it's going to pull your jacket up even higher. But this guy's jacket is smaller. It's smaller. It's not the same size as the other guy's jacket. Pants even almost look different. They look like they might even be baggier. He's got a different, he looks even just different. His characteristics even look different. Based on posture and how he stands, they look like they just are two completely different people, I think. Let me see how he looks facing backwards versus the other pic here. It's almost like those pants have pockets with the guy on the right or something in the pocket here on this side rather than this guy. It's just so blurry. It's just hard to tell. It's hard to see. We'll go back to that. I want to see if we can see if somebody's walking by and get back to that part of the video, but I just thought I'd share that too. I just truly think that there's a possibility that this might be a different guy. Wow. Shout out Angie for bringing that up. I think that's something to really look at because it just looks different. It almost looks like this mask wraps around too. You can't see the mouth. It's one of those that cover up the mouth. But you just see the eyes. Really odd. Anyway, chat, I missed some of you guys' comments in the chat. My apology. I was too busy kind of getting caught up in that. I think my thing had zoomed out. something to look at, something consider though, guys. You never know. I just figured I'd share that with y'all. I don't know. It's tough to call. I can't call it. But to me, it just seems like there could be a good possibility that there's a different guy, and those shoes are definitely different. I think we've talked about this many times, but I think we kind of looked past it after a short period of time, and never really revisited it to really clarify what it is or not. But I think, one thing I was talking to my girlfriend about earlier when I said, I would be more happy if they went back and they made this a crime scene again rather than not, just because I feel like there still could be a possibility that they still left some type of DNA behind. I get it, the family has been inside of the house and other people have been inside of the house, so we know what that can do to crimes, as it did in the beginning of this crime or case, however you want to put it in words. But I think that, it wouldn't hurt to go back and make it a crime scene just one last time, one more time. Check them septic tanks in the back just one last time, one more time. Look again. Look one more time. See what else you can find in that house. Unless they really truly have something and they're confident that this is going to move this case, and if there's a reason that maybe Savannah went home because she knows what they're working on, and it's just a matter of time because they're just trying to put it together. Maybe that's what's stopping them from going back and revisiting. But I mean, several weeks and I think months, dang near, we did have FBI agents coming out here going door to door again. So, I mean, would it hurt to just go back to the house and make it a crime scene one last time? Why not? Would it cause a scene? Probably, but I mean, who cares? Who cares? What is it going to hurt? Just go right back and make it a crime scene again. I don't know, man. I can't call it, folks. Trying to move the screen over because I got it far left because I was showing you guys that, so we could go back to kind of look at it, see if this was a shoe or not. I want to look at this one more time and give it a good look again, just to see what we see here. Hey, much love, guys. I appreciate all the love and support, as well as the positivity here in the chat. I truly do. I want to take a look at the chat because I missed out on a few things in the chat. I think a couple people I heard. I think maybe a few people may have subscribed or something like that. I heard the notification go off, so I don't know what I missed. So I apologize if I missed something, folks. Big shouts to those who have subscribed to the channel. Big shouts to those of y'all tuning in. I appreciate y'all stopping by and checking it out just to see what I was up to tonight, man. I appreciate y'all. Just the curiosity, man. And those of you guys that are enjoying the channel, I appreciate you guys continuing to tune in and help me figure things out. I mean, I feel like I can't do a lot of the stuff that I do here on this platform in regards to what's going on here or anything without you guys. So thank you guys for being here with me tonight. I know it's late, it's 2 in the morning. I'm a night owl, guys, so I'm always up late. I haven't been going live at home late, but man, I appreciate the company. I don't see it, man. I don't see it. Oh, man. Now, I'm not talking about the video, guys. I'm sorry. I'm over here trying to figure out something else here. I'm trying to figure out if I can put this on a photo and somehow maybe invert it to make that a lot more clear. Not even clear. just try to bring it out a little bit more somehow. And the first thing that comes to mind is inverted. I think if it was inverted, it might just make it look a little bit more better to define like actually what it is that we're seeing. It's bothering me because I truly want to see if we can somehow invert it or change somehow the contrast or something in some type of way to put the nail in the coffin on what that really is. But it appears to me that and it's almost like, I'm not even gonna lie to you guys, it's almost like, I'm not gonna lie, I feel like I see black on the side of that shoe as well when we see that shoe that appears to be walking by in that corner on the right there, bottom corner where that arrow is at. Keep your eye right there. They may have lifted evidence from, I think I missed that chat. Hold on. This chat it went away. So I'm looking at the chat from my OBS, so it's tougher to read. They may have lifted evidence from that map, but they should have took it. It's possible. Juice, read on X is something that was told to you from a neighbor about the case that shocked you. Can you share that with us? Juice, I read on X. Oh, I think somebody, did say that. She didn't want me to disclose her name or any information that we had talked about, guys, but it's not any information that you guys, how can I put this in words? It's not like any information that needs to be, sent into the FBI that, that needs to be really shared. It just was information that was valid due to what was shown to me based on what she was talking about. But it wasn't valid information like something that would move the case in any type of way. It was just certain things that she knew that supported what she was saying even more, and what my theory was based on what I think that happened. It wasn't really something like you go and just report because I have information. If I had any information that needed to be reported or that could help us move this case in any type of way or crack the case in any type of way, I would definitely share. I wouldn't hold back from that at all. But you just realize based on what some people show you and tell you and their emotion based on what they're telling you is just true. And I felt that. I felt it. I knew what she was saying. She was telling the truth. And it didn't, there was just certain things that, it was not just surrounding Nancy, but it was just other things amongst the neighborhood. And I don't really want to share too much detail because the lady is very scared to death. And if I go too far into detail, I'm just gonna scare her, and I don't want to do that because she's really scared that someone's gonna go after her, and I don't want her to feel that way. But she thought that everybody overheard her in the chat, and immediately she came right back to where I was live at, which was outside of Nancy's. And she really, really was literally scared. I could see it, and her heart was racing. She was breathing hard. And I didn't want to, I don't want her to think that I'm just going to put her information out there and share what she shared with me. But shout out to her. I think she said she wants to be referred as A, and she gave me a light that day. But like I said, if you guys have anything you want to remain anonymous, I definitely would do that. And I definitely wouldn't just put it out there unless it's factual. If I knew for sure that it was factual information that everyone needed to hear and know, I would definitely express that in some way, somehow, some way. And I think I pretty much kind of did that a little too much anyways the night of that interaction. But like I said, it wasn't anything that you guys are missing, guys. It's just certain things that I don't want to disclose because it's not gonna fall back on her in a bad way or anything like that. But it definitely could make some neighbors pretty upset. So I just don't want to say all that. But thanks for asking, though. But anyways, guys, I don't think there's anything that I can really change in this video here that'll further support what we see, because I don't really have any editors that I could think of. Unless you guys have an editor, we could try to maybe try to make this a little bit more clear. I've tried zooming in. I've tried to mess with the contrast a little bit. It's just not really changing much. So I don't know what we could possibly do to make this a little bit more clear based on what we see here. I guess it's just kind of one of those things where you just say what you think you saw, and that's that. It's not really much we can do to make it a fact that there's a shoe there that's passing by. But I honestly, in my opinion, think that is someone walking by. And I don't know if they're carrying something. I can't tell. I don't know if, I don't know, but the door is closed because you can see the doorknob at the very bottom there. And I'll pause it there. You see the doorknob the entire time. Okay. The doorknob, for the most part, you see the doorknob the entire time. I don't think there's any point in time in the video where you don't see the doorknob. So we know that door never opens. And as to why someone would have been approaching at some point in time, I have no idea, or where they've approached at one point in time. But obviously that person would have had to walk up to the door and then turn around. And maybe there is somebody knocking at the time that he's covering up that camera. And maybe he is covering up that camera for the time being so they could do whatever they got to do. But I truly believe he's taking off the camera, removing the camera somehow, some way. And I'm certain that this guy is trying to be quiet. He's not trying to make any noise whatsoever based on the approach, on how he approaches the door. I keep saying that. So knocking it off sounds like it's going to cause too much ruckus and wake somebody up. And I think they were very cautious about that. I don't think they wanted to wake anybody up, or cause any noise at all in any type of way. But that's just me. I don't know. I think I had one other thing for y'all to share real quick here that someone brought to my attention that I didn't really notice at all either, and I'm not too sure if it's true or it's just how it is. But I'll show you guys this as well. Somebody had said that they think, I think it was Angie as well. She had a lot of information. I think she also said that it looked like somebody was trying to knock off one of the lights in Nancy's backyard. And let's see if we could pull this picture up without any trouble here. Nah, we can't. We've just been having trouble nonstop pulling photos up. Now it's just not loading at all. Great. Yeah, now we're not loading at all. So tired of this tonight. I really am. If I see the perp, I'll take all my anger out on him, I promise. My goodness. I'm trying to click on this dang thing. What is happening? Alright, let's just give it time to load. I'm just getting impatient, that's all. One moment, guys. We're almost there, I think. I'm just trying to figure out, because she sent me so many different emails, too. Well, not a lot, but she sent me several. She also had a better, like, picture, too. Or a different picture of that picture that I was showing you that might have been a car. But it was just too blurry, so I'd rather not even share it. Just because it's not going to make a difference at all. She sent me a picture of Nancy with a cameraman at one point in time, but the picture just didn't really look like it was a real picture to me, so I didn't know what to think as far as the picture. I'll show you guys the picture she's talking about, though. It's this picture right here. It appears to be a cameraman in the back, but it doesn't really look like a legitimate picture. It looks like that person was like added to the back or something like that, so there's no need to really show you guys that. Let me see if we can go back default. There we go. This picture, I don't know if that's a real picture with a real guy in the back, so he did share that. Somebody did share that with me as well. I think it was Angie, but it just doesn't look real. But it looks like it could be like somebody that matches up with the perp. But who knows? I'm trying to find the specific picture she sent me with the I think it's near where the camera was placed in back of Nancy's, but I don't see it. So I'll have to Google it. Let's see if we can pull this up real quick. And I think we'll find a picture of it here, because I think I just looked it up here too. It's I think it's one of Nancy's floodlights, and I think a lot of you guys, well, not a lot of you guys, but I've heard a lot of people talking about the floodlights in the back. So I don't think I got to talk to you guys about that at all, especially here at home, which is the best place to analyze pictures that we've seen. So let's look at this floodlight just real quick. So I thought it was interesting too. There's just a lot of interesting things brought to my attention tonight. I appreciate it too. I mean, this is what we need to be doing, analyzing stuff like this. All right, so check this out. This floodlight here, there's a crack at the top. I don't think you would put a floodlight in with the crack at the top. Did somebody try to climb up there and break it like that? Did they hit it? I don't know, guys. I don't know. What do y'all think? But it does look like, it appears to me that was somehow, some way messed with. Maybe it was like that before, and you know, the kids were throwing a ball and they hit that thing. You know, I'm just trying to think of an easy way out for this person, aren't I? By saying that maybe the kids did it. But I mean, it does kind of, you know, make me think a little bit when I look at that floodlight. And you're looking at the cracks on the outside here. It looks like it was beat in with something, as if they thought that that might have been a camera and they were trying to beat it off. I have no idea. But that definitely has cracks around it, and that doesn't look right at all. Maybe the wall is caving in and it's just getting old and the rest of the wall looks perfect. I wouldn't say that, but it's possible. Yeah, somebody's pointing out there's two darker marks to the right, and I know exactly what you're talking about. You're talking about right here where my mouse is at. There's some two darker marks there. Yeah, but that's normal, I think, because there's square marks that are very similar to those marks in some of these here on the left. So I think that could possibly be normal, but I know what you're talking about. They didn't beat it off that hard. It's still hanging. Says Mike YT. Yeah, I agree. So that's something to look at, guys. People keep talking about the floodlight, the floodlight, the floodlight, the floodlight. I still don't know what happened with Nancy's floodlight. I keep hearing that over and over again. What happened with Nancy's floodlight? What happened with her floodlight? People keep talking about it. So that's why people keep talking about the floodlight, because there's that crack around the floodlight that looks like somebody appeared to hit it at one point in time. And it looks like that to me too. I wouldn't put a floodlight in that place that has a crack like that. Maybe that it was put in incorrectly and somebody just shoved it on there. But I think a lot of the work that's done around the home is professional the last time I checked, based on who's coming. I think someone broke it on purpose. It fits the narrative. Yeah, it's a possibility, Rose. Bring Nancy home. Yeah, bring Nancy home. We are losing sleep over this, guys. That's how much we care about this. I mean, we up all night thinking about Nancy. We wake up thinking about Nancy. We want to help. We just want to help in any way that we can. We want to help figure something out that may lead us up to finding this guy somehow, some way. But even looking at some of these pictures here on Google, because there's a lot of pictures here on Google that point out the floodlight, and I think they were on to something when they saw the floodlights too, because I believe the FBI at one point in time was looking at these things, and they were definitely looking at them for a reason. And at one point in time, we see them standing on top of the house. I have no idea what they're doing at this point in time, but I think in this particular area right here, they were looking at the point of view of where that camera was on the top there. See if we could save that and then pull it up. And I should have looked at all this, but it just kind of came out of nowhere tonight. So I figured I would share that with y'all. But I have no idea what she's doing up there. But I think that they're removing that camera. I think this was one of the cameras that Nancy had that was aiming in a direction for the toward the pool, and I think it was for the wildlife. And I think this is the area where that one camera was left, and that they didn't get They got all the cameras but the one, and I think this is the area where they get that one camera. And we still yet to hear if they were able to pull anything off that camera, if this was the area that they removed the camera. But I believe they did get one camera besides the Ring camera. Not the clearest of picture, but I think that's the area. I want justice. Is it vodka? Is it vodka? Is it vodka? I can't pronounce names. I'm bad with names. The footage will be shocking. That's why the family is silent. That's a possibility. Good point. Good point. Is there a chance that they did get footage from the back here? But again, it doesn't aim in the direction anywhere near. It doesn't seem like that camera is facing anywhere near where you could enter, through the back. Anywhere. It doesn't seem like that to me, that camera would have captured anybody walking through the gate. I think it's facing the pool area. She's like on the, let's see if we can zoom out here and see if it shows here. Let's see if we can kind of figure out exactly where she's at. I can't tell. Okay, so you see there's an AC unit, so I think this should be easy for us to point out here. Okay, yeah, you guys might be on to something. Yeah, so yeah, they might just have something, and they might just know who they're looking for if they were able to retrieve anything from this camera, because that's on the casita. Oh, that changes things. The AC unit on the casita looks exactly like that one, so I'm assuming that, yeah, that's going to be the casita. If that's a camera, though, I don't know if that's a camera or that's, yeah, because it's the solar panel right next to her. And I think that's also what obviously powers the camera. But that is the casita that she is on. I thought that was the camera for the wildlife, but it's the casita. Yeah, because if you look at this picture here, it looks the same when that AC unit tells exactly where she's standing at. And not only that, you see the vents up there. I don't know what you would call those, whatever these things are, where my mouse is at, is right next to that AC unit. So looking at the house, right where these guys are at, whatever these things are called, is kind of identifies where she's at. Well, it does. It doesn't kind of, it does. So I hope they got that camera. If they got that camera, but again, I think that might be the camera for the wildlife, guys. I don't know if that camera, it's facing the pool. So it's literally facing away from the door. This area where you see the black is the gate that goes out of the yard. So it gives you an idea of exactly where that camera is facing at. But anyway. Just thought I'd bring that to mind real quick. I think we'll move on from that. But I think that's interesting to kind of consider what happened with that floodlight in the back, and whether or not what camera, if that was the camera that they retrieved. It says that was a floodlight removal, though. It doesn't really state whether or not that was a camera that was removed. I think they removed the floodlight. I don't know if they can get anything from a floodlight. But I think that they made sure they took most of the cameras. I've heard that they were able to get one camera in the back. I don't know which one it was exactly. But there is a photo pointing out all of where the floodlights are at, and I'm assuming where those floodlights are at, there's a possibility that those were cameras. I don't know. But here, check this photo out real quick. And I think they also say what was intact and what was broken. And there were the two floodlights that were in the back that were broken. But like I said, I don't know if they were able to get any cameras at all. I'm just assuming. So two floodlights in the back, broken. The one on the casita that faces the street, or faces the actual driveway where my arrow is at, intact. Then they have one over here on the left side that says it's intact as well. You see there's a wall along the way in the back right there. So there's a wall in the back. I think on that wall, I was saying this before, you can hop on that wall and probably be able to hop on the actual roof. Just saying, because it wouldn't be hard for them to get up there and dismantle those cameras, you know, if these were all cameras. I don't know how many cameras Nancy had. I mean, I'm assuming 4 since they're pointing out the floodlights. But I don't know. So anyways, guys, I just thought I would share that with you guys. Like I said, I was really hoping I could show you guys a better look on that video that Adrian had sent with the feet that appear to be, or shoe, somebody walking. It appears somebody could possibly be walking by. I don't know. I'll have to keep looking at it. I'll mess with it a bit, see if we could make some changes to make it more, you know, come to light a little bit more. I've looked at it several times over and over again. I've yet to really come up with anything that supports what I'm thinking. But it does seem like somebody could be walking by in that video. It's just very hard to tell. So maybe I'll let it go, rest on it, you know, check it out again tomorrow, and think of what I can maybe do to just try to make that more clear somehow, some way. But I don't know, chat. I don't know. Whomever went through all this trouble to ruin a person's golden years, the peaceful comfort of her own home needs to be brought to justice. I agree. Is it Soto? Is it Rose Soto? Hope I said that right. Nina says, I think they said one floodlight was broken earlier when the porch photo was made without backpack. Interesting. So it's like he kind of started working on it a bit before, you know, so he could maybe get a head start. I don't know. Haven't heard that, though. I'm going to be honest. I haven't heard that one. One says, as much as I hear why, as much as I hear, as much as I why to hear the call, To be honest, I don't think they will, as long as it's an open investigation. Usually you hear the call, though. That's what's crazy. Usually we're pretty much analyzing all of the stuff that they have. Kind of like, I can't remember the person's name, so I don't even want to say. But, there's been, if you watch crime and you watch a lot of videos that have to do with crime or that pertain to homicide, usually they release the phone call. I don't think that they wait to release the phone call. So maybe that's some information that Nanos has that he's holding back on as far as the phone call, and the FBI is okay with them releasing the phone call. But he doesn't want people to reveal some things. There's been a lot of stuff held back, guys. I mean, remember, he didn't even let the FBI be really a part of this investigation for 4 days. You heard it. Brian Ensign reported it, and we've been knowing that. We've been knowing they haven't been getting along, and they've been having a hard time with one another. And then later on, they want to say that they were getting along, when in reality, they never were getting along. We know they haven't been getting along. I wouldn't want to ever get along with this guy, due to the way he handled this in the beginning and how he was acting. Instead of him just doing the right thing. Nancy's missing. Why? What are you doing? Nancy is missing. Why are you fooling around? Why don't you just do what's right and do what is going to get it right the first time, whether we figure out anything or not. Play it the safest way possible. And the quickest, if that's what it's going to be. I guess his macho thought, that he was going to get this DNA sooner and be the one that was going to, crack this case. I don't know. Does Nanos think that if he cracks this case, he's going to get the $1.2 million or something? Or is he going to get some type of reward? Or maybe it's going to get him a bonus in the department? Is he money hungry too? It seems like it. I mean, he did go over the budget. So, I mean, he could want extra money out of this somehow, some way. Maybe when officers are able to even that light just really throws me off. Maybe officers bonus when they are successfully. That light is throwing me off. So when they're successful when it comes to these homicide cases, and they actually do complete these cases, then maybe there is a chance that he wanted some type of money out of this. We've heard that he and Tommaso are gambling buddies, so that could say a lot about, this guy being money hungry. I could look at this video over and over again, because every time I watch this video, I always realize that there's something that we're all missing here. There's something that we're missing. It's like if you watch it long enough, you'll eventually learn something else that no one even realizes. So, I mean, I don't know. I could look at this all day long, though. Anyways, guys, I think that is enough of that for me. Okay, I'll go back for a little bit more sleep. Yeah, indeed. That's exactly what I'm about to do in just a second here. It's 11:46 for you, Nina user. Wow, man, y'all up late. Oh, wait, 11:46 a.m. Oh, it's morning for you. You must be in Australia or something. Crazy. Somebody said, True, did you sleep yet? Asking for a friend. I don't know if you're talking to me. I don't see a True in the chat, but maybe they meant to say Troy. I'm not sure. Nanos does have a lawsuit going for 1.3 million. Rachel says it's his ego. That's just sad. Oh, okay. There is a true in the chat. Okay, I didn't see that. I haven't been looking at the chat too crazy yet, but just kind of trying to see what everybody's saying, trying to catch up a bit here. Lucy says, I want to know why Nanos had previously asked for good security cameras on her social media that isn't talked about and clearly never got good security. What made her want them? Good question. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. But there's just so many things that's really, really weird about Nanos. I think he's shown that. I don't think he's just shown his ego gets in the way of his decisions. I think he's shown a lot of other things as well. And I think there's just a really good chance that he might just be covering something up. I can't say it enough. One-on-one, I didn't catch what you said. I apologize. I missed that. So I'm not too sure what you typed, but I'm looking for it. Tammy says, where's the 911 call? Nothing about this case makes sense. Yeah, it really doesn't. Not my monkeys. Big welcome, by the way. Nanos is arguing he contacted the feds, Nina User says. Yeah. He is, but when they got there, he acted like he didn't want them there. So, even if he did, he showed otherwise. There could be a possibility that somebody might be helping this guy with lighting as well, because that light at one point in time kind of drops down as well. But I think it's the reflection of the leaf or shrub, as you call it. Or it could be the reflection of his actual hand. But that light right here, it moves at one point in time for whatever that is. And I'm certain that no one's providing him light because it's just too still for that to be a hand. A hand moves. A hand can't be super duperly still like that and not move. So if somebody were to be providing him light, that would be moving somewhat a little bit. Southern Granny Great says, you never answered my question. What was your question? I'm sorry. I missed it. I'm sorry. I was telling you guys I didn't see the chat. Hyper Kimberly, big welcomes, by the way. Nanos reminds me of a comedy actor, Leslie, is it Nislin? I don't know how to pronounce that. Told y'all I'm bad with names. Yeah, he does seem like off camera he's a funny guy. Or a guy who messes around all the time. I don't take him for somebody who's has like a super serious demeanor all the time. Hey, much love, Hyper Kimberly. Thanks for being here. Thanks for hanging out with me on this late night, Wednesday night going into Thursday morning. Southern Granny says, you never answered my question. I was trying to wait for your response, but I don't see it, so maybe she's typing on. Maybe I'll give her some time. Tammy says, I don't believe anything that comes out of Nanos' mouth. I agree. My apologies, guys. I'm trying to pull up the chat here because I can't really see it on this little screen as good as I want to. Anyways, chat, I'm going to move on here. I'm going to move along here. I got to get off here pretty soon here. I want to watch a little bit of this documentary just briefly here. But like I said, I'll look over this a little bit more. But to me, I think we do have a person walking by at the very least. I think we might have figured something out that we haven't learned in this video. But I think I'm starting to think that there is a second guy. I'm not looking past the fact that there is a possibility that one person could have possibly done this. It's not possible. I keep saying this, and I think that's one thing they brought up in that documentary that they had tonight on CW11. Because everyone keeps looking past it, and I think, like she was saying, that everybody's thinking what's logical. You know, what seems more realistic, instead of thinking of things that people wouldn't think that's possible is possible. Let's see if I can pull it up here. I can't remember. I think it was on News Nation. Brian Ensign had released it. Yeah, I think this is it here. I just want to kind of react to this and talk about some of the things that they were talking about here. And then we'll probably call it a night here. Hey, no problem, Tammy. I don't know if I'm seeing the same message. 603 train wreck. I touched up on it if you want to hear early a little bit, maybe like 20 minutes ago. Says, I didn't hear what the old lady told you the other night. What does she think happened to Nancy? She didn't want me to share that, so I touched up on that a little bit earlier. Man, you guys don't got to thank me. I truly appreciate all y'all being here. I love doing what I'm doing. And like I said, you guys motivate me a lot to continue doing what I'm doing. Everyone going to try to go to sleep because the sun is about to rise. See y'all later. Much love, Pete. Thanks for tuning in 101. It's late for a lot of you. Some of you guys, it's early morning. But for me, yeah, it's about 3 in the morning. I usually go to bed about 3, 4, sometimes 5 a.m. Just depends. But yeah. Much love. Hey, good night. True be you. Thanks for stopping by. Kimberly says the case is driving me nuts. Me too. And the more we think we learn, it's like the even more into it I am. It's crazy.
Could it have been planned for homicide or for a kidnapping? I mean, there's many different...
Well, just real quick, I want to watch some of this real quick, and then I'm going to hop off for the night, guys.
Possibilities of why that person entered that home. So it was a burglary, and I happen to believe at this stage of the game that it is more likely than unlikely that the initial, and I know I'm going to be disagreed with, the initial motivation was probably theft instead of kidnapping. I think that the abduction happened after the fact, after something went terribly wrong.
What do you think, Dr. Burgess? Because nothing was taken from the home.
Right, nothing was taken from the home, and of course we don't have the crime scene to look at, which is very much a disadvantage. But I think it was another motive that they went in for, and before long it went south.
It's amazing to me how you could put probably like 5, 6 people in one room and no one has the same theory at all.
But I don't think they were there to steal anything.
And by the way, we don't know if anything was taken. Truly.
Right.
Just because the family doesn't immediately know that anything is missing doesn't mean that couldn't have been a motive. And we have to keep in mind that things could be taken that they're not missing, or that because something went terribly wrong, the entire motive immediately changed. And the idea of taking stuff out of the home became irrelevant, especially if she became injured. Because I think we both agree that something went terribly wrong.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that something went south.
And we don't know how long he or she or it, they were there. They could have been there. I've done cases where they get in and they really surveil the house, they get familiar with it, they look at all kinds of things, and the victim is either sleeping or not awake, kind of thing.
We know about the 42 minutes from the cameras. But
just make sure you watch it from the beginning later on. I did. This is the beginning, I believe. This is not the beginning?
So again, we'll just make it a conversation. The first thing I wanted to talk about is, do you think this is a burglary or a kidnapping? And I want to start with you, Dr. Jordan.
I'm going to geek out on you for starters and remind you that a burglary is breaking and entering with the intent to commit any felony. So, by default, it's a burglary. The question is, what was the felony that was in mind when the intruder went in there?
Hey, shouts to those of you guys stopping by, giving the video a thumbs up, by the way. If you haven't given the video a thumbs up, feel free to go ahead and give that video a thumbs up if you're enjoying the channel anyway.
So in other words, was it about a larceny? Was
Hey,
it
good morning, Teresa.
about stealing belongings in the home?
Or
Could it have
Teresa, if I said that wrong.
been about a sexual assault? Could it have been planned for homicide or for a kidnapping? I mean, there's many different possibilities of why that person entered that home. So it was a burglary, and I happen to believe at this stage of the game that it is more likely than unlikely that the initial, and I know I'm going to be disagreed with, the initial motivation was probably theft instead of kidnapping. I think that the abduction happened after the fact, after something went terribly wrong.
What do you think, Dr. Burgess? Because nothing was taken from the home.
Right, nothing was taken from the home, and of course we don't have the crime scene to look at, which is very much a disadvantage. But I think it was another motive that they went in for, and before long it went south. That's what I think. I don't think they were there to steal anything.
And by the way, we don't know if anything was taken. Truly.
Right.
Just because the family doesn't immediately know that anything is missing doesn't mean that couldn't have been a motive. And we have to keep in mind that things could be taken that they're not missing, or that because something went terribly wrong, the entire motive immediately changed. And the idea of taking stuff out of the home became...
Is there another parts of the video that I'm missing? Like, is there like a big old like video that I missed or something? I don't know.
Relevant, especially if she became injured. Because I think we both agree that something went terribly wrong.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that something went south.
And we don't know how long he or she or it, they were there. They could have been there. I've done cases where they get in and they really surveil the house, they get familiar with it, they look at all kinds of things, and the victim is either sleeping or not awake, kind of thing.
We know about the 42 minutes from the cameras, but we don't know after that. Did they stick around?
Right.
You know, there's a lot we don't know, Ann.
I agree.
Burglary or kidnapping, Dr. Mercado?
I think it's important to bear some statistics in mind. There are only about 350 abductions that occur a year. The vast majority of them are committed against children, and the vast majority by people who know the child that is taken. It's also important to understand that, statistically speaking, an abduction usually involves proof of life and a demand for ransom within 24 to 48 hours afterward, and it's resolved usually in about a week. If you're abducting a person for ransom, you would consider them precious cargo. They likely wouldn't be bleeding, and without their medication, you would be treating them gingerly because they're worth an enormous amount of money to you. I don't think truly that abduction was on the table. If it was, then it went very south, and I believe she may have expired.
Yeah, Dr. Brugado, he's good, but he has a lot of things that I disagree with. I'm not going to lie. And there'll be some things that he says right now I'll share with you that I think I just disagree with. But I mean, he's not bad at all.
And as a result, they wound
think
up
he's very
empty-handed and they wound up having to eliminate evidence of what happened to her physically.
Right, Rose. Thanks for saying that. Rose just said it. I think Rose says so many people don't think outside the box, and I think if you consider everything that happened, a lot of people just simply overthink this. I think you guys overthink this a lot, which messes with your mind a lot to really not necessarily understand what went on. But I think it messes with you figuring out what actually went on due to the fact that we just take into consideration of so many things. And I'm the same way because I'm so open to what really took place here, and based on what everybody else thinks as well. So it makes it even tougher to really wrap your finger around your own actual thoughts, I wonder what our thoughts would be if we've never heard anyone else's perceptions, It's interesting.
Is that the entire thing is masquerading as a burglary attempt with an abduction, where it's actually masking that somebody simply wanted to eliminate Nancy for personal reasons. And we do see that phenomenon sometimes where someone who knows you desires to get you out of the way for some reason and then creates this idea of an
shout out
outsider
Karen
doing it.
coming through, subscribing
The clue
to the channel.
to that
Welcome,
is that the person generally is not
thanks for
sophisticated enough to fake one of the common reasons why somebody would break into a house, like robbery or sexual assault. Those signs are not there, so then what are we left with? So I think those are the two possibilities based on the numbers that I would anticipate.
I'd like to know also is how she's dressed. Did they have to wake her up and get her dressed, or did they take her out she's in the nightclothes? Well, you just know that a little before 2 a.m. is when they start getting some evidence of the disconnection between the heart monitor and so forth. But those would be some of the questions I'd like to know.
And even Savannah had said something, when she was talking about the terror her mother must have felt. She said taken from her bed in her pajamas. And I've never known for certain if she knows that as a fact, because investigators have some kind of evidence of that, or if she just knows her mother's routine. Does her mother always wear a certain set of pajamas, she says without her shoes. How do we know that? So I'm always kind of like, there's so much we don't know. Is this just Savannah filling in the blanks in her mind because she has a vision of her mother being removed from the house, and in this vision, she is shoeless in pajamas, and she was abducted from...
The interview asked him what he thought about Annie's card she left at the flowers. He wouldn't comment. Says Nana. Wow. That's weird. Did anybody pick up that card and read that card and see what it says? I'm sure it was probably hard to understand anyway.
Her bed. The truth is that we don't have any of that from the investigators, so we can't jump to conclusions based on what Savannah is saying, because I have a feeling that this is a movie reel playing in her head that is not based on hard evidence. So you have to be careful as you analyze what the information is that and whether it's credible or not.
Dr. Burgess, if it's not a kidnapping or burglary and that's just masquerading for something else, what could that be? What could the motive be?
Well, the motive, first you want to always ask who's suffering the most of this, who is hurt the most. And in this case, it doesn't have to be the mother. It could be somebody in the family. Yeah. Somebody, Savannah. It could be anybody in her orbit, so to speak. Husband. Certainly don't want to include the children, but you don't know, and I think that is a possible motive.
So the motive could have been to make Savannah Guthrie suffer.
Yes.
And she's haunted by that.
And she has.
Yeah.
I mean, it's her mother.
Yeah, she said it on the interview with her.
Yeah.
She was like, the idea that this could have been because of who I am, it really haunts her. But we don't have any evidence of that, right?
Do you think Savannah Guthrie is part of the puzzle here?
Well, if somebody is eliminated, and elimination, murder is a term that I've coined and used in the literature to refer to a situation where somebody's life is taken because they are an impediment to something else, and that is much more pragmatic generally.
Yeah.
Whether it's you're in the way of money, you're in the way of a romance, like we saw in the infamous Susan Smith case, where she couldn't have a romance because she had 2 children and eliminated them. Whether it's that somebody is a burden because of their age or a health condition, you can do that. A very common one is that someone knows something, they're a witness to something, or they've walked in on you doing something that can get you in a lot of trouble, so you need to be. And what happens in that phenomenon that I've studied extensively is that there is a great effort made to give the impression of an outsider doing it with no clear reason other than lunacy or just kind of coming into, which of course there's no sign of here, that this was some kind of disorganized, bizarre, motiveless situation. And I also think an important piece of information here is that whoever this person is that is on the camera, who has a very amateurish quality because of the gun not matching the holster, the way that it's being worn, the use of the flora to wave in front of the camera and so forth, that amateur hour kind of quality is interesting also and suggests to me a difference in intelligences. Some schemer behind organized, bizarre, motiveless situation. And I also think an important piece of information here is that whoever this person is that is on the camera, who is a very
Not speaking speaks volumes. Yeah, it does. But why wouldn't he? What has he got to lose? In commenting on that.
very amateurish quality because of the gun not matching the holster, the way that it's being worn, the use of the flora to wave in front of the camera and so forth. That amateur hour kind of quality is interesting also and suggests to me a difference in intelligences. Some schemer behind the scenes and this character who is just sort of hired or asked to do this. I think we would all agree this is not a professional that we saw here. I also don't believe this person worked alone.
So you think there's more people involved?
I think there is a little group of people, and that's great because the more people involved, the better for getting it solved.
But then why isn't it solved? So the reason I'm gonna tell you statistically, you're accurate.
Yeah.
That as more time passes, and nobody, remember, your chain is only as strong as its weakest link, right?
Well, literally just
so this guy's a
recently
weak
said this.
link. I mean, maybe he's no longer with us too. If we go with the master disciple or chef and waiter, metaphor, which is great. But as time has gone on, I have been more and more open to, and it's not a conclusion, the idea that this could be beginner's luck. Because sometimes the idiocy, if you will, is actually on your side. Because we're looking for an organized killer. We're looking for somebody. It makes more sense that there would be at least two people involved. Easier to remove the person from the house, easier to have a lookout, a getaway car, and all that. But it is not impossible. In fact, it might even be probable as time goes on and nobody rats out the others, that this could be the work of one panicked individual who came in for one purpose, did not include hurting Nancy or taking her. And then whatever happened, did she have a heart attack? Did she fall and hit her head? Did she rip his balaclava off and recognize him? Because we probably all three of us agree that she probably knows there's some connection there. I mean, Brian, it could just be the work of one person. I know that that's statistically very unlikely, but it is entirely possible and we can't rule it out. So sometimes you just have to back up and go, in the peak of his panic, would he have been able to think, okay, I didn't kill her, but no one will believe that. The best thing I can do is remove her from the house to minimize the evidence, eliminate the evidence that you're talking about, and be more likely to get away with it because my DNA is on her. God forbid, what if she had a heart attack and he actually had a panic moment and gave her mouth-to-mouth resuscitation and tried...
I think she has a really, really good point here that could be a really good possibility.
To save her, but it didn't work. Think about that for a second. Now his DNA is all over her. No one's ever going to believe this, right? And he may just be going like, my DNA is on her, let's take her away. But we need to consider that we don't know. Maybe kidnapping, and certainly kidnapping for ransom, was not the motive here. If it was kidnapping, there probably are more personal reasons why that would happen.
Yes.
But I personally don't think it was for ransom. And I don't believe that any of the demands for ransom money were legitimate.
Dr. Burgess, do you think this is the only person?
No,
Or do you
I-
think there's more people involved?
No, but I just had a thought, that person may have been eliminated also.
Yeah.
And what do you mean by that?
Literally.
I don't think.
No
I
longer
think
with
No
us.
longer with us.
What do y'all think, Chad? You think the perp is still alive? You think he was killed? I think he's still around.
So the person we see at the front door could be dead,
That's correct.
killed by someone
Right.
else,
The partner.
killed by the boss.
Right.
By the boss.
Yep.
Right. It was well planned. They've gotten away with it. And they pulled a type of case that we've never seen before,
Correct.
as far as we know. We are looking, we're trying to get a match for this. That's the way that legacy cases become so important, is that you'd be able to find one. And I have somebody looking, but so far, no luck. The back door, I think, is important. That was left
Yes.
open. I'm surprised. Hopefully they get maybe some DNA. There is DNA because you've got the mother's blood. So the blood has to also be somewhere else.
Get
Car.
their CPR. What? You couldn't hear it? You want me to go back? Just saying that perhaps something could have went wrong, and as far as Nancy maybe even having a heart attack, and they were stating that no one would ever believe this person if they went in there and their intention was random or to hold Nancy for some type of money, whatever. That there's a chance that this person did try to save her life. But no one would ever believe that person, so they got scared and removed Nancy from the home. Not only that, she's mentioning the fact that if he did give her CPR at one point in time and tried to save her life in any type of way, which a lot of times that provokes physical touch. And I've already said this before, that could have left his DNA on Nancy, and maybe that's the reason why this person didn't, leave Nancy behind for that specific reason. But maybe they were going to leave Nancy behind due to what happened, but unfortunately it seems like maybe there's a chance this person cared enough to try to maybe somehow resuscitate Nancy or save her in some type of way. Who knows?
We are looking, we're trying to get a match for this. That's the way that legacy cases become so important, is that you'd be able to find one. And I have somebody looking, but so far, no luck. The back door, I think, is important. That was left open. I'm surprised. Hopefully they get maybe some DNA. There is DNA because you've got the mother's blood. So the blood has to also be somewhere else. Car, wherever she was taken.
Yeah.
And so hopefully they
And,
can.
I think it was CeCe Moore that brought it up. CeCe Moore was saying that there's a crime scene somewhere else, whether it's in the car or somewhere that they took Nancy, but there's definitely going to be a second crime scene for sure. Very, very good point.
Find that.
A second crime scene would be helpful, I
Yes.
think. They could figure out another place.
Where she was transported.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The three of you together have pretty much studied every big crime, I would imagine, at this point, and gone back decades, centuries, whatever. Has there ever been anything like this?
Not to my knowledge. I've looked at, they were always the children or younger people have been kidnapped. Now, the other thing is, in other countries, you have kidnapping, Moro out of Italy, that happened. Mm-hmm. But also, and they're warned about it, we don't see wealthy men being kidnapped because they have security or they have bodyguards. Yeah. Or they do get in, they are able to get away with it sometimes, but no women.
Yeah.
I
No
think
elderly.
Very
L19
rare.
had a really good point. Said, and I think I missed it in chat. think I missed it there. I don't know where the message is at. Anyway, made in the UK says, if you go off Jim and Matt Moore, it could be a sexual motive that would make be one person. I don't discount that. Yeah, I don't discount it at all. And like I said before, in my eyes, the family's cleared. I'm sorry, in my eyes, the family's not cleared. Excuse me. I didn't mean to say they're cleared. Jesus. That's how you know I'm getting tired. No, I always do that. Anyway.
I think the closest was a woman in Norway, but it was never solved. She was never recovered, and the police have kind of said, well, we think it could have been the husband, which is where we get this theory, which is so remote that it is always a family member. That's true with children. That's true with children. But when you're talking about an elderly person, the closest one I have is a case of a man named Harvey Weinstein, not that Harvey Weinstein. In 1993, he was a businessman in Queens. You might remember it. He was kidnapped, and a relatively wealthy businessman, but not like millionaire, not like the Heineken, CEO who was kidnapped and they paid a ransom and got him back. This man was eventually, it was solved. He was kidnapped and kept, if you will, in a pit on the side of the West Side Highway in Manhattan.
That reminds me, also, shout out Angie again, because she brought something up to my attention as well, but there's a website that you can go on that'll show you people's pictures and stuff from, and I don't know if you could add the pictures yourself, but from Savannah's father. I don't know if it's called Dig a Grave. I don't know what it is exactly, but it's this grave site that you can put in anyone's information on that will obviously tell you when they died and whatnot, but it'll also give you pictures of whatever people decide to post, I guess. But anyway, when you look at the pictures that I saw on there, they're pictures of Savannah's dad and Savannah, but there's no pictures of Annie and the dad, which is kind of weird to me. Maybe Annie has a different dad. I don't know. Find a grave. Yes, thank you for that. And I had to reset everything that was on here, so I wasn't able to pull that up on here because I couldn't remember the name. And I could have looked into my prior research, but it's not going to do me no good. Anyway, let me continue this because we're not going to watch the whole thing.
And he survived that, which is insane. The culprits were eventually caught, and yes, it was an employee in his tuxedo manufacturing factory in Queens who had overheard something about a windfall of money that he had gotten and had recruited some cousins. But this was a person who sewed tuxedos. This is nobody that Harvey Weinstein actually laid eyes on and knew. It was just somebody who worked in the factory who had knowledge of Harvey Weinstein and his wealth because he'd worked at the company. They eventually got him back because they wanted buckets of cash, literally duffels of cash left around Manhattan at different sites. And one of them, of course, got apprehended and folded and told on the other two. But that was 33 years ago. And that's the closest thing we have to a kidnapping for ransom of an elderly person. He was in his 60s. That we could even begin to compare this to.
But that case raises a very interesting point that is fascinating to consider in terms of the Guthrie story. Because what I would put to someone who was studying that case is that there were extras, things that happened there that were not necessary for the pragmatic process of simply abducting somebody for money. Keeping somebody in a pit for 14 days reveals a little bit of cruelty or anger toward them in addition.
I said there's no meaningful evidence 90 days later, yet we're still at day one. I agree. I feel like we haven't left anywhere from the beginning. I mean, I don't feel like the case has moved anywhere from the beginning.
To simply wanting money.
Or was it terror that if he died, they'd be looking at homicide charges?
It's interesting. So that when a person incurs risk, does something extra, Then you start thinking there's an emotional element too, like, I really hate this wealthy guy that I'm slaving for, and he deserves punishment. And that suggests to me, when you see those little extras, you start thinking, why does somebody resent this woman? Why does somebody resent these dynamics around this woman? And then you
Why doesn't anybody ever talk about the possibility of Nanos having something to do with this, really? So weird to me.
start getting more into the truth of the matter. Because if this were truly an abduction or a robbery, it would look very practical. More happened here than was necessary. And so I just think that somewhere hidden in here, this person, whoever this guy is at the door, if he is caught, if he's alive, and is caught, he will lead down the spider web to the center, where you will find somebody
Correct.
who is a wolf in
that at
sheep's
all.
clothing.
Do you think
probably
that the
making you
person
fall asleep,
responsible
bro.
for this has a connection to Nancy Guthrie?
Yes, I believe that in some way, whether it is intimate or passing, somebody has knowledge
I
of
truly
her
think
life and
this
comfort.
person would have came forward by now if he wasn't by himself, or if it just wasn't him and one other guy. But for all we know, these guys are different, and they really trust each other. If it is more than one perp.
Level with this
Rachel, thanks for
place
becoming a member of
and
the
that
channel. I
home
appreciate that
is
much.
suggestive
Rachel,
of somebody that
welcome
knows
to
her, and
the
I think
squad.
there is some personal quality embedded in it.
Do you agree, Dr. Burgess?
I agree, yes.
You think it's someone that she knows in some way, or that knows her in some way?
Knows her in some way. I
Yes,
don't
that's
think
correct.
that, I wouldn't think that Nancy Guthrie knew this person. I don't think you'd have the crime scene that we know happened, that she was bleeding from, so something happened.
No, I agree. This person knew her. I don't think she knew this person. Knew of her. And it could have been,
I
you
don't
have
really
to
like
consider.
this lady's perception. I really don't. I don't know why. I don't like the way, what a lot of the stuff she's saying.
Could have been somebody who saw her on the Today
Like
Show
she's
with her daughter
overthinking it.
Savannah, maybe not even have met her. Could have been an Uber driver that she didn't leave a big enough tip for. Could have been any of hundreds of service workers. I mean, she's been in this house since the 70s. She has had people, landscapers, roofers, repair people, people changing her HVAC filters. And they go in and out of that house. They ask to use the bathroom. Of course, she's going to say yes, right? They felt comfortable enough and had knowledge of the house, but I don't have any evidence that they really had a beef with Nancy herself, all right? And I would not even be surprised if they knew in passing Nancy Guthrie, but did not even understand that she is the mother of Savannah.
So you think it's possible that the Savannah Guthrie component may not even have been
It could
part
be
of
a
this?
red herring. It could just be the world's weirdest coincidence, and we've seen stranger ones. It seems unlikely, but we have to consider, because we keep looking for somebody who has a beef with Savannah or a beef with Nancy. And sometimes it's like we interview people. Ann brought it up the last time you were talking about the grudge collectors, and we
I
just
feel like there's a lot of people who are like looking for the same things.
saw it, of course, with the Brown MIT shooting. We saw it with, with the Idaho dentist, right, Spencer Tepe. And I've interviewed many, many prisoners who have long-standing grudges. So it could be somebody who Nancy was not even aware of had a beef with her, or that she offended them in some way.
Do you think the ransom is real?
To be perfectly frank, no. I think what happened with those notes was either an opportunistic, parasitic person who was taking advantage of a situation, or somebody that knew what really went on but was tossing red herrings out. My feeling, as heartbreaking as it is to say, is that the victim is likely deceased, and they were either attempting to collect money anyway or collect money in some way, but sending those notes had a cruelty then to it. Do you guys agree?
Ocean Way, big welcome. Good to see you in the chat. It says, you please turn over into the FBI before you get charged with holding evidence. I don't know what you mean, Ocean Waves. I don't have any evidence.
I'd say it was more greed than cruelty. I just think that they have no concern whatsoever about the feelings of the Guthrie family. But if
Nina says, I am curious if Nancy had life insurance. I think so. I think she definitely had life insurance. I mean, why wouldn't she? And I feel like she has enough good support surrounding, Savannah, I think she has that support. So I think it's a big possibility. I want to share something with you guys that I might believe. Just real quick before we get out of here, I think I'm gonna cut the video there because I'm getting super tired. I don't think I'm gonna make it through too much further. Kind of lost my thought here. Let me continue. I guess I'll continue for a second. I just want to figure out what I was gonna say here before I get off here. But I kind of lost my thought there. That's how you know I'm getting really tired. I'm trying to figure out what I was about to say though. It's bothering me now.
It's like a Hail Mary pass. Look, if I can call TMZ or a news thing and put this thing,
I mean, do you guys agree?
Yeah. I'd say it was more greed than cruelty. I just think that they have no concern whatsoever about the feelings of the Guthrie family. But if it's like a Hail Mary pass, look, if I can call TMZ or a news thing and put this thing out, and I get $6 million, it's worth a try. It's worth a try. It didn't work as far as we know, but the bottom line is, why not try? There are so many cyber predators out there that I'm surprised we didn't have more. And I think probably 2 or 3 of them are the work of completely different predators.
Well, speaking of cases, in terms of precedent, that story reminds me a lot of the kidnapping of the Lindbergh baby, who I believe died when he was being removed from the home. The co-father, John Douglas, has suggested that when the child was taken in a duffel bag, coming down the ladder, that the death occurred. And then he tried to, if it was Hauptmann, some people don't think so, tried to collect money anyway. Not to mention attachment forever to a famous person, which is a little bit of a secondary motive that sometimes happens. Because what happens when you target a celebrity or somebody tied to them is that forever, you look in the encyclopedia, and you look up the well-known person, the name of the offender targeted them is attached in eternity. In perpetuity, you can't look up Abraham Lincoln without seeing John Wilkes Booth. Right. And so you get this parasite quality that also can happen with some of these people. And I wonder also about that if attention-seeking and resentment of somebody's notoriety is not embedded somehow in this story, in the dynamics.
Yeah, I didn't even catch that. By the way, shout out Nita User for gifting a membership to Rachel, man. Much love, Nita User. I keep dropping my freaking stuff on the floor. I don't know if that was good. Sheesh, guys, it's time. It's bedtime. Bedtime, that's what it is.
Surrounding this story.
I think if that were true, we would have seen a lot more cat and mouse game in this.
It's true, it's possible.
But one of the problems we have is just legitimizing the communications.
Right.
Because it's just so easy now for anyone to send an email, an encrypted email to TMZ.
I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I'm not gonna lie. I think Nancy was Annie and Tommaso's backbone, and I think any time that there was money that was needed amongst Annie and Tommaso, I think that person, I'm sorry, not that person. I think that Nancy was that person that would give them every dollar that they had, and every dollar that she had in her account until she didn't have anything at all. And I think there could have been a chance that it got so bad that she had to ask Savannah for money for Annie and Tommaso to continue to support them. And it seems like due to the fact that Annie hesitated to call Savannah, it almost seems like to me she would hesitate to reach out for something like money and have her mom do it. And I think sometimes we do this too because we also know the answer someone's going to give you based on, who you are and what situation you're in. Man, this case has been crazy. It's been crazy. What a case. Maybe the porch guy was paid. That's a possibility. I always think that too. It's all possible. Like, nothing's off the table for me. Guys, anyways, it is 3:32 in the morning. I got to go. I got to get some rest here. I got to get up for work in the morning. I just wanted to share a couple things with you guys. Keep the emails rolling, man. Reach out. Don't be afraid to let me know if you want to share something with me. I'm always open to talking about the case and having a conversation. If you want to remain anonymous, I will definitely keep it that way. If you email me and you need to talk, you can reach out. I'll definitely be more than happy to call you and talk about the case if that works out better for you. But keep the information rolling. Keep sending pictures. Keep sending little things that may help us crack this case. Let's bring Nancy home. I am going to go ahead and end it on that note, guys. I appreciate y'all tuning in tonight. Big salute to those of you guys stopping by and checking out the channel tonight. We'll continue on tomorrow. If I go to Nancy's, we may go tomorrow. I'm not too sure if I'm going to go there at all tomorrow or not. We got to give the neighborhood a break every now and then. Just because, I mean, I really want to go tomorrow because I think I have something planned Friday, so we might most likely go out to Nancy's tomorrow. And that's all, guys. That's it. Thanks for listening. Thanks for stopping by. I'll see y'all on the next one, guys. Big salute to those of y'all who tuned in tonight. I'll catch y'all next time.